Welcome everybody to the Miami Dolphins versus New York Jets preview for this week as the Dolphins are looking to rebound off a loss against the Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving night. So it's clear that they have a hard time playing on prime time, and it's pretty clear that they're having a hard time even playing in the cold, and they cannot kill the narrative. So you have a Jets team coming into this game with a 3-9 record, while the Dolphins are 5-7. Tua, as of right now, this time recording, undefeated against the Jets. Undefeated. The only time the Dolphins lost in the McDaniel era was at MetLife a couple of years ago in 2022. I think it was October, I believe, in Week 5. That was when Tua got hurt a week prior, and Teddy Bridgewater had to come into that game, and then Skylar Thompson just was not good. So they had to rely on a running game, and they still could not beat the Jets. So that was a bad loss from them. But since then, the Dolphins have a 3-game winning streak against the Jets. In fact, in the whole series alone, it's pretty close. But the Dolphins lead the series 60-56-1. So that's crazy all itself. So you know the history between these two teams, with that huge comeback the Jets made, which was scarred a lot of Dolphins fans, that loss was huge. When the franchise came, both franchises, the Jets dominated the Dolphins. First off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game winning streak against the Dolphins. But then finally, the first victory against the Jets was 1970. And then a 2-game winning streak in 1970. Okay, that seems pretty cool. And then that undefeated season, we all know that story. And then the Dolphins went on the winning streak then. The only tie that happened was a 28-28 draw between the Jets and the Dolphins in 1981. But since then, the Dolphins have the upper hand against the Jets these past days. Now, in the late 90s and early 2000s, the Jets had an upper hand. They would always dominate the Dolphins. But now, the Dolphins would find a way to beat them, as they would capture that lead back, the head-to-head series lead, 60-56-1. In this game, though, really not much to say. The Dolphins are fighting to get to the playoff spot, but the problem is Denver's winning. The Colts won against the Patriots, so they're going to have to figure out. They're going to have to rely on some help, which you don't want to do. You'd rather win yourself. So, anyway, Aaron Rodgers versus Tua. Aaron Rodgers with 19 touchdown passes, 2,627 yards, with 8 interceptions. The Tua, though, with less games that he played, he has 15 touchdown passes with 4 interceptions. He has not beaten Aaron Rodgers. It was that Christmas game, which the Dolphins should have won that game. I'm serious. They should have won that game against the Packers on Christmas Day. But this is a chance to beat Aaron Rodgers. But they still have Breece Hall, he's still questionable. It's Breece Hall versus Achane, and then Garrett Wilson going up against Tyreek Hill. And I can imagine Devontae Adams is also going to play against Jalen Waddle. And then the defense is not that great for both teams. It really isn't. The Jets are 1-5 on the road, while the Dolphins are 3-3 at home. So the Jets record 3-9. Who do they lose to? Who do they beat? So first game of the year, Monday Night Football, they lost to the Niners. That was when the Aaron Rodgers was finally going to play the full game. They go to Tennessee. That's the only road game they have won. They beat the Titans 24-17. Then it's a Thursday night game between the Patriots. The Jets smoked them 24-3. And in a terrible game against the Broncos, 9-10 loss against the Broncos at home. Then they go to London to play against the Vikings, and the Vikings beat the Jets there 23-17. This game had a lot of controversy in this one. I already explained it with the Bills preview. There were a lot of controversies in that game with a bunch of calls that going against each other. It was a terrible game. It was a terrible Monday night game. Then they go to Pittsburgh, getting smoked by the Steelers. I think that was a Sunday night game. Then they go to Foxborough, of course, losing the Patriots up there. As the Jets fans just had enough with that. Then they beat the Texans on Thursday night, which was a pretty big win in itself. But then they go to Arizona, they get smoked by the Cardinals. Then somehow, someway, the Colts beat the Jets at home. I mean, that was just a bad defense there by the Jets. And then put the icing on the cake. They blew a lead against the Seahawks, and the Seahawks came back and they beat the Jets 26-21. That was Geno Smith's revenge game, to say the least. And then it all leads to here. So the Dolphins, I feel like, should have this game, even if it's Aaron Rodgers. But we'll see what happens, man. So that's going to do it for this one. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for content, because Miami TVG has you back. And when he does, he'll be right there with you for your entertainment you deserve. This is Miami TVG sign off, folks. Good night.